In my view, sustainability should not be considered as a goal or an objective that has to be achieved. I believe it is a lifestyle choice, an evolving commitment to be resilient by withstanding and adapt to uncertainties of an ever-changing world, regenerative by actively restoring and renewing the natural system, and being responsible through adaptation practices that are grounded in accountability ethics and deep respect for people and the planet. We have given this choice the name of Mission Life, as given by our Prime Minister, which prioritizes mindful utilization over mindless consumption. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to inform you that recently, drawing motivation from leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change issued very critical notifications with the aim of building a sustainable future. On August 29, in last month, we enacted the Environment Audit Rules 2025. These rules establish a formal framework for environmental auditing across India. The new rules, which come into force immediately, are designed to supplement the existing government monitoring and inspection framework, not to replace it. These rules establish a formal framework for environmental auditing across India. The rule established a new two-tiered system for environmental auditors and dedicated agency to oversee the process. The Government of India launched the Green Credit Program in October 2023 to encourage individual and institution to voluntarily undertake positive environmental action. Under this initiative, effective eco-restoration work on degraded forest land was envisioned. On 29 August 2025, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change notified a revised methodology for the Green Credit Program, introducing innovative provisions such as direct participation by private entities, minimum restoration commitment, mobilizing private capital for climate action, and utilization of earned green credits. With the objective of achieving self-reliance in the critical mineral sector, the Government of India has launched the National Critical Mineral Mission 2025. Under this mission, 24 minerals have been identified as critical and strategic mineral, and 29 other minerals have been considered important for strengthening the country's economic development and national security. Taking cognizance of the provision of National Critical Mineral Mission 2025, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has notified certain amendments to the Forest Conservation and Augmentation Rules 2023 on August 31st to 2025 in order to simplify the approval process for mining of these minerals in forest areas for both public and private entities. These steps fuel India's march toward building a sustainable economy which is both poised toward ensuring a green future and global economic might. And today, if we want to make a better world, so developing country needs two things. First, climate finance, and second, technology. We know that this commitment is not fulfilled for a long time. So how we will work together? So first, India's stand is that we have a faith in multilateral forum. Second, our Prime Minister's clear message to us that because of this problem, India will not be part of problem, India will be the part of solution. Third, what the futuristic way? So, innovative program given by Prime Minister like a Mission Life and Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam. But this is not sufficient. So our Prime Minister started some climate action program also. Just for example, we are focusing on the renewable energy. So in the leadership of our Prime Minister, we started International Solar Alliance. And 137 countries member of this alliance. So in that alliance, for capacity building, technology, finance, and all other things, how we will work together for that. Second, we are facing a climate threat, and for that purpose, we need a good infrastructure. So we started a climate action program under the leadership of our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, CDRI, Coalition for Disaster Resilience Infrastructure. Third, it's also discussed earlier in the speech of our Puri ji also, there are hard to abate industries. They want new greener technology, capacity building, and the other thing. So India, again our Prime Minister started an initiative, Leadership for Industrial Transformation with Sweden. And its Climate Action Program 2.0 also launched in UAE COP. The fourth, for the purpose of biodiversity threats, especially for the developing countries, the India started a new climate action program that's called International Big Cat Alliance. At the time of G20, India also started International Global Fuel Alliance. So these are the climate action program where India is also actively participated to solution of this problem. We also know that we are the largest country with the largest population. So we have already achieved our NDCs. We have submitted our greenhouse gas estimation on the basis of 2019 data. We also giving our enhanced NDCs also, and India is committed to solve this problem. We feel that ecology and economy balance is required. The industry will lead for green technology, more innovation, and we want to do more ease of doing facility to the businesses group, so they will contribute more and more to research for technology, to adaptation of this technology, and to popularize this technological action for saving the earth for more green and clean. Yesterday, fortunately, I met to the COP president of the Brazil president also. He was in Delhi, and there was a long discussion with him about the several topics. So many issues are still pending, like in Glasgow COP, the Article 6 of the for carbon market was adopted, but not more action is taken about the trading of this carbon market mechanism. So we emphasize to do that. Second, for the adaptation practice, there was a declaration of BOCO to this COP. So more practices are required. There is also in the last COP the new quantifiable goal, because we have already taken a stake of GST in UAE COP. So much finance and other things are required for that. So we discussed all these issues with the COP president, and we are very concerned about the right of Global South. We want to make a voice of Global South.